Girlfriend, let me tell you. Girlfriend, let me tell you. Girlfriend, let me tell you. Oh my goodness, girlfriend. Hello, and welcome back to another episode of Girlfriend, Let Me Tell You, the podcast for single black mothers. I'm your host, Latasha Ingram. So what I want to talk about today is when I'm on social media, which is the last place I saw this, there was a discussion. So there were a few men, maybe about 3 men and 3 or 4 women, sitting like on the rounded couch. And the young man had asked the woman, what do you bring to the table? And I'm going to tell you what initially upset me. When he asked the question, she immediately went into trying to answer. I can cook, I can clean, I can keep a house clean, I can make sure you got somebody to go with you when you go out of town, I can do laundry, all this stuff. And he was like, nah, I don't need you to wash my laundry because I have a maid. I got enough money to get a maid. I don't need you to cook for me because I have enough money for a chef. And what I have found to realize on TV, whenever there's real people talking like it's a real life conversation, and even when it's in movies or TV shows or something, whenever a man asks, what do you bring to the table? I don't know why women automatically feel like they have to answer that question, because that question, if you think about it, is not being asked correctly. It's being asked to fall in his favor. And see, whenever some women say what they can bring, he declines the answer, knocks the answer out the way. That's what it is. He ignores the answer and says no because this, like that's not enough because of this. And I'm gonna tell you something. Usually whenever somebody asks that question, what can you bring to the table, they don't even know what they want you to bring to the table. But sometimes they're already programming themselves to already be in disagreement with whatever it is you're going to say anyway. So you're wasting your time if you're just going to jump into asking the question. So that's what my topic is about today. The question, what do you bring to the table? I had to write some notes for this, y'all. So y'all bear with me, right? Okay, so here we go. For one, whenever a man asks you, right? Because it seems like a universal question for every man, but it's not, because every man is not the same. Just like every woman is not the same, because if she were, then that means that he wouldn't be asking what can you bring to the table, because he would already know, because we're all the same. So we have to think about that. Whenever someone says, what do you bring to the table, or what can you bring to the table, the question they should be asking is, what can you bring to this table? Me. If you were with me, what could you bring to a relationship with me? But see, they don't ask that question, because what do you bring to the table is so cliche. They just say it the way it is, not even giving any thought as to what they're asking. And I do believe that sometimes the only men who ask that question are the ones who are insecure. They have nothing else to talk about. They want to hear about you, because sometimes they're not even that interesting anyway, right? So let me tell you something. Whenever they say the table is a metaphor for who they are. Their table represents their mindset, their habits, their possessions, so things they actually have. It also represents their mental health, their strength, and their weaknesses. So whenever a man asks, what can you bring to this table? If he ever asks that question. But if he asks it like that, he's asking, what can you bring to this table? What can you bring to a relationship with me? With everything that I have going on, with everything that I have and everything that I don't have, with everything I've been through, with the way I act right now, with my habits, with my hangout spots, with my career, with my living situation, with my transportation situation. What can you bring to a relationship with all of this? That's what he's supposed to be asking you, because, sir, I need to know who I'm talking to, right? So before you tell him anything, you need to ask him, what kind of table does he have? Right? Counter that question with another question, because, sir, your question isn't complete. So whenever he asks, what can you bring to the table? Well, what kind of table do you have, sir? What kind of table are you laying out in front of me for me to lay my stuff on? Right? Because I might have some stuff with me too, but I got to see what you got going on first, because you're pursuing me. I didn't sit down and ask you anything. You're pursuing me. You tell me what kind of table you have. So let me tell y'all, I have prepared the descriptions of 4 different tables, 4 metaphorical tables, right? So here we go. The first table that I decided to talk about is an old, weak wooden table. This wooden table is wobbly because the screws are loose. You get it? Screws. He's a little crazy. He's not all the way there. He rocks from side to side. His mood changes a lot. He's not stable. He's not mentally stable, right? With a person who rocks from side to side in their emotions, sometimes they're happy, sometimes they're angry, sometimes they're very secure in the relationship, other times they are extremely jealous. Most of the time they're faithful, but every now and then they cannot beat temptation. That's a wobbly table. A wobbly table is over here sometimes. Sometimes it's over there. And the thing about a wobbly table is it will help you lose everything that you have if you give it your all. So when you're in a relationship with somebody who is an old, weak wooden table, don't put too much on that table, because he's going to help you lose everything, because he doesn't even know what he wants for himself. He doesn't know what kind of woman he wants. He doesn't know what kind of life he wants, what kind of job he wants, what kind of home he wants. Hasn't even thought 6 months into the future. That's a wobbly table. Their mind isn't really there. They're just living day by day, living cliche by cliche. That's all it is. So it doesn't matter what you bring to the table, because you have to think about it. When you sit your things on a wobbly table and it gets a little unbalanced, whenever it leans a little to the left, stuff gonna fall off. Whenever the table leans a little bit to the right, stuff is gonna fall off. So you just keep putting stuff into it, keep feeding the relationship, metaphorically speaking. Feeding the relationship means bringing more things to the table, because you have a lot to give and you're bringing it to this wobbly table that is helping you lose everything. And that's how you end up with an ex-boyfriend that made you feel like a fool, if that's not what you're looking for. That's how you end up with an ex-boyfriend that made you look like a fool. An ex-boyfriend that made you say you were never going to fall in love again. An ex-boyfriend that made you say that you hate all men are dogs, people are fake. All this stuff that people say whenever they break up after feeling like they were stupid or they were used. That's what that wobbly table is going to do for you. Okay? So, here's the thing. You might be the woman who is looking for a wobbly table, because you don't really want a long-term relationship. You don't even want a boyfriend. You just want somebody to kick it with. You know, you don't mind if you text him and say you want to come over and he's like, I can't tonight, I'm busy. That doesn't even bother you, because you might have 2 or 3 wobbly tables. You might have another wobbly table who will take you out to eat and then make you pay because you didn't eat all your food. You know what I'm saying? You might have somebody who comes over for a little bit and then leaves like an hour later, and you don't see him again for a while. You might want that wobbly table, but again, you need to ask, what kind of table do you have? Because he might say, look, I can't be with you all the time, right? So what can you bring to the table? Which means, what can you do with a man like me who is not going to be consistent, not trying to be with you, not trying to be your boyfriend, not trying to be your kid's stepdaddy, not trying to take you out to eat, not trying to introduce you to nobody. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes I can come over. I can't really tell you when. You know what I'm saying? I'm going to be nice on the phone with you, but when I see you in person, I might cut up in public when people are around. That's a wobbly table, and you might appreciate that because you're like, well, shoot, it's cool. Don't get mad when I don't answer your text message. Don't get mad when I can't come over. Don't get mad whenever I don't want to be at your house when your daughter is there. Don't get mad whenever I see your baby mama and I say, what up? You know what I'm saying? So everybody is going to want a different table. And let me tell you something else. When you're single, you might want a different table every now and then. Like right now, this is what I need in my life. This is what I want to deal with right now, right? So I'm not going to say don't look for a wobbly table, because that might be the perfect thing for you during cuffing season. A wobbly table. Someone who's not really consistent, okay? That's the first table, ladies and gentlemen. Hey, I just want to take a moment to pause for the cause and remind you all that the details for this episode are down below in the show notes. And also, my sponsor for this episode, which is A Cup of Stars Tarot, those details are below as well in case you want to get your own personalized tarot card reading. Or you can go ahead and join me on my social media pages and you can do the collective tarot card readings that we have weekly. All right, don't forget, look down below. Enjoy the rest of their episode. The second metaphorical table that I want to talk about is the small plastic table. So, no matter how much you bring to this small plastic table, it'll always be too much. So, metaphorically, this man is always telling you that you being extra, you doing too much. You ain't even have to do all that, right? Because his table is so small minded. This table, keep in mind, the table represents this person. It's a metaphor for this person. So a small plastic table is small minded. It didn't know that you were going to bring all this to him. So the small table has actually underestimated who this woman is that it approached. This table is so small minded that it brought you the bare minimum. Just enough to get a conversation. Not really much to go any further. You know, it's not much for us to talk about because I don't really want to hear it. I can't even contain all the information that you want to give me. I cannot even appreciate or be grateful enough to appreciate the gifts that you can bring to me, all the good times, all the experiences, all the vacations, all of these people you can introduce me to, the new foods, the new clothes, the new music, the new outings. Like, my mind is so small. I didn't know that you were going to bring this, so I wasn't prepared. Now, here's something else about a small plastic table. The small plastic table is also the person who never apologizes whenever they are wrong. It's the person who doesn't want to learn anything new because they think they already know something, not knowing that if they would just expand their minds to this new person, then they would know that this person can help their cup runneth over. All those dreams that you had, I can help you get closer to them. I can help you build up your self-esteem through the things that you do and the things that you let go of. Right? But see, a plastic table can't understand that. And a plastic table also doesn't work well under pressure. Right? It's already small. And when you try to load it up, whenever you try to love it, it gets weak. It gives up. It gives in. It wants to move on. Right? It can't be too much under pressure. Whenever you ask them a question, they don't have the answer. They're under pressure. They get quiet. Whenever you want to spend more time with them, or try to get them to prove who they say they are, they disappear. They don't answer the phone. They don't answer the text messages. They don't respond to you anymore. And see, something else about the plastic table is the table is weak, but its ego is strong. This table is bitten off more than it can chew whenever it chose you. Again, it doesn't like to apologize when it's wrong. It doesn't like for you to be better than them. It feels like you trying to show them up every time you do something. Whenever they have an idea, you have a better idea. Whenever they want to do something, you can find something better to do. They're always intimidated because this small plastic table, again, it doesn't care what you was bringing to the table. It just wants to know if you have more strengths than it does. Can you carry it and when it can't carry you? Now that we know that a small plastic table exists, if you're like me, you don't want a plastic table. You don't want a small plastic table. You don't want somebody who's small-minded and crushes under pressure. Because I'm a strong woman. Mentally, I'm a strong woman. Physically, I'm strong too. I am. So that's not the table for me. But you know who this table might be good for? It might be good for somebody who doesn't have any big dreams. Every day, just being alive and being able to do the simple things in life. And I'm not saying simple as in, I'm not even going to describe, because I was going to say like somebody who loves nature or somebody who wants to be green. I'm not going to say that. But somebody who is okay with waking up, going to work, getting off work, having the rest of the day to themselves. They don't want another job. They don't want more income. They don't want to change their living situation. They don't mind being in a relationship. They're not really trying to move in with anybody. They like where they are right now. They don't want anyone to try to change them. You might want somebody like that because you might be like, look, I'm just trying to enjoy life right now. I don't want to have to think about anything hard. I don't want to have to stress myself out. I just want to chill. So that that small plastic table might be the one for you, right? Y'all not sitting there having no deep conversations. Everything is just eating, talking, watching movies, chilling. You go home, I go home. We see each other tomorrow. Da, 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 da. We don't have to talk about politics. We don't have to talk about money management. We don't have to talk about fashion. We don't have to talk about careers. We don't have to talk about businesses, LLCs, networking. We don't have to talk about conferences. None of that stuff. That might be the person for you. That might be the person with the most simplest conversations that there is no way on earth you could argue with this person because your conversations are never on the level of beginning an argument. That might be the person for you. Again, if you're like me, I don't want a small plastic table. I don't. I honestly feel like I want my conversations to be meaningful. Now, we can have some, crazy conversations where we're just talking about movies that we have in common. We can have conversations about meals that we've cooked and our recipes. We can talk about local trips that we've taken. We can talk about, how soft 100% cotton is compared to, 50% polyester, 50%. We can have conversations like that, but not often. I like to think about what's about to happen next, what's going to happen in the future. How can I make my situation better? How can I do something now that's going to pay off, in the next 10 years, whatever, all those things, right? But that might be your person. Hey, real quick, are you enjoying the episode so far? I surely hope so. I want to remind you that all of the details for this episode are down below in the show notes, so do not forget to check that out. And also, I want to remind you that you can go ahead and sign up to be a part of my emailing list. I have so many great things coming up this season, and I want you to be a part of it. So, look in the show notes below, leave a comment on how you like this episode, and I hope to hear from you all soon. Enjoy the rest of the episode. All right, so welcome back. The next table that I want to talk about, because so far we have talked about the old weak wooden table that wobbles, to and fro. It's unstable, right? But you don't need no stability anyway because you're inconsistent, so it doesn't matter, right? The second table we talked about was the small plastic table, which represents somebody who is small-minded, not too complicated, simplistic, and don't want no stress, right? So the third table I'm going to talk about, metaphorically speaking, is going to be the glass table, right? So we have this glass table before us, and we need to know what we're going to bring to it. Now, I know what you're probably thinking is, okay, yeah, glass, that means we can see through the person. We know exactly what they're thinking. They're transparent. No, that is not what it means. Glass to me means the person is sensitive and easily offended. So when I bring something to this table, it thinks I'm trying to one up them or outdo them or show off, right? They're sensitive. They feel like people are after them. They feel like everyone is against them. Even in relationships, everyone they come in contact with has something against them. They're trying to show off on them, right? So when I bring something to this glass table, it's shattered and triggered from things that have already happened in their past. The smallest thing can trigger them to make them have an attitude. Something else can make them feel as though they need to hide, or they need to cut people off, or they need to be by themselves. And then whenever you try to have a conversation with them, everything turns into an argument. It goes from you talking in a mellow, level voice to them getting loud with you. So now you've done something wrong. What have you done wrong? Who knows? With the glass table, sometimes you just don't know. You ever had somebody spaz out on you out the blue when you like, dang, what did I say? What did I do? Was I not paying attention? You start questioning yourself, knowing good and darn well you haven't done anything wrong. That's what a glass table does. And here's something else. A glass table is never satisfied. It's not, because it wants to be better and better. That's what it wants to be. It wants to get out of the situation it is. It's always trying to do something because it's easily offended. And it feels like whenever it tries to talk to somebody, that person is against them. Nobody is on their side. Now, you can never really bring enough stuff to a glass table because they don't know what they're looking for. They don't know. They don't even know what makes them happy. They don't know what makes them happy. They don't know what makes them sad. Their emotions aren't all over the place like the old weak wooden table, but their emotions are confused. Sometimes they can't take a joke, even though they are a sarcastic person. Sometimes they feel like you are picking on them when you're actually giving them constructive criticism, right? That's where their emotions are, right? And it seems like whenever you bring them something, it's never the right thing. Never satisfied. Never. So what would you bring to a table like that? It depends. Because the glass table has trust issues. So whenever you try to help them out, they still feel like, why are they doing this? Maybe a glass table can be described as someone who overthinks situations. But they do have trust issues. So whenever you give them something, there must be something behind it. Why are you trying to give me something? Whenever you invite them somewhere, they want to know, why are you inviting them over to your place when you could just come over to their place, right? Why are you trying to meet me at 4:00 in the afternoon when we could just meet at 6? They question a lot of stuff. The glass table needs the right kind of love shown to it. Now, everyone was not raised in love, right? A lot of people didn't get hugs. They didn't get kisses. They didn't get cuddles. They didn't get one-on-one conversations. They didn't get to speak freely and express themselves. They didn't get tucked in at night. They didn't get medicine when they were sick. They didn't get protected when someone tried to hurt them. Some people did not grow up with love. And the problem with that, and I'm not sure if I've said it in a previous episode, but I will revisit this. The problem with not being raised in love is you grow up trying to find what love is. I did talk about this. And the problem with growing up trying to find love is you go to the wrong things. You are attracted to the wrong people. You misinterpret love because since you don't know what love is, they can tell you what it is. This is what love is supposed to mean. This is what love is supposed to feel like. This is what it looks like. This is what it sounds like. This is it, right? Love is pain. Love is abuse. They might teach you that kind of thing too. It is reframing the mind to, and that is not what I meant to say, but y'all know what I'm saying. They're trying to put in your head what love is, what hate is. You're supposed to keep secrets, whatever it may be. So a glass table is someone that needs the right kind of love shown to it, but they don't know what kind of love they're looking for. That's why you have men who are promiscuous, because they're looking for something. And all of that, they are looking for something in someone, but they don't know what they're looking for, right? They don't know that all they need is a long hug. They don't know that they may need to just cuddle on the couch. They don't know that they just may need somebody to grab their hand in public or private. They may not know that they need a nice birthday gift that they've never had before. They don't know that they need people who can sit around them and have a conversation with laughter and doesn't have to be too serious and take their mind off of the world. They don't know that. That's the glass table, right? The glass table has anger issues. Man, they snap. Everything is angry. Every time somebody says something, they have to say something against. They have to get the last word. They get easily agitated when someone bumps into them. I think I'm about to tell on myself. So they have road rage. They have road rage. But not all the time. That's not an anger issue. That's something else. But it just made me think about road rage. But they have anger issues. It seems like they are mad at everybody. They are mad at the pastor. They're mad at the judge. They're mad at the police officer. They're mad at the preschool teacher from 1973. They're mad at all the people that have anger issues, right? The glass table has a lot of hurt built up too. So they need a hug. They need people to be patient with them. Someone who has hurt built up in them could hurt you. They could say mean and hurtful things to hurt your feelings. Now, me personally, I'm a Cancer. So sometimes you can say stuff that is meant to hurt my feelings. And if I don't react to it and I try to be calm and try to think about it, I'm like, you know what? They're trying to hurt my feelings. Let me hear them out. Let me hear what they have to say. And that's it. I mean, it is what it is. Sometimes I can detect that. Like, no, this person is just letting off some steam. I'm not going to take it personal. But see, other days, because I'm a Cancer, I'm sensitive and I react to you. Whatever you saying to me, I have something to say back. If you go too deep. Now, I don't like hurting people's feelings. I know I can. I don't like to. So I hold back on a lot of stuff I say. And because of that, I might end up crying like, oh my gosh, I got this built up. I just want to say something. I just want to do something. But I'm a chill today. So they have a lot of hurt built up, right? They have things lingering from their past, from the time that they got beat up by a group of bullies. And now those bullies are, out here doing worse than them, and they want to tell them about themselves. They might have something from when their grandfather died and they were 13 years old and that was their best friend. So now they have nobody to talk to. And it's just all these you never know. That's a glass table. The glass table is fragile and can easily be broken. So the same way they say things to hurt your feelings, if you say something back, it's like it's the end of the world. You have hurt their feelings so bad you cannot be forgiven. That's them. They can be easily broken. You can be in a disagreement and say the wrong thing and they shut down for a week. They hide. They are depressed. They need some milk. All that stuff, right? This table needs help. So if you ask someone what kind of table they are, and whenever I say ask someone what kind of table they are, what I'm saying is ask someone about their situation. Ask them how they would handle certain situations. Just have conversation. You'll find out. You don't have to find out all at once. But if they're going to ask you this question, what do you bring to this table? Okay, tell me about yourself first. Tell me where your mindset is. Because a glass table needs help. So whenever they tell you all these things, I mean, are you asking me to help you? Is that what you want me to bring? You want me to bring my expertise that I got off the streets as far as trying to coach you? Do you want me to be your therapist? Do you want to lay on my lap and tell me your stories? Is that what you're doing? Do you want to be able to call me every day and vent to me about what happened that day? Like you want to be with me, but you want me to be like that mother figure that you're missing. Are you asking me to be with you so that I can be your counselor? Are you asking me to be with you to calm you down whenever things are not going right in your life? Like, is that what you asking me for? Okay. Now, I don't want a glass table neither. I don't want nobody that is sensitive because I'm a Cancer. Both of us can't be sensitive. Both of us can't be sitting around crying, rocking in the corner. We can't do that. So here's the thing. There might be somebody who just has that genuine nature of helping people. That's what you do. You find hurt people and you heal them. You listen to their stories. You give them some suggestions. You hold them accountable for what they say they're going to do. You help them set goals. You take them to new places to relax their mind. You find out what are their triggers and what works for them, how you can be an aid to them. Yeah, and you can love them too. You can find out what kind of love they need. You can show them the love that you have. Teach them new experiences. You can help them face some of their past hurt to help them not so much get over it, but help them cope with it a little better to where it doesn't trigger them. You can help them with their anger issues. You might be that person. You know how some people say, I'm always the one helping other people. I'm the one who's always looking out for other people. Nobody ever looks out for me. Well, that might be what you're here for. You might be here to help people, even if you don't get the help back that you think that you're getting, because a lot of stuff is disguised. Help is disguised. Support is disguised. It's something else that we don't even pay attention to. But you might be the person who, in your nature, you might be the person who is put on this earth to help other people. All kinds of people. Maybe that's supposed to be your profession. That's your calling. That's what it is, right? So you might be a person who's like, yeah, I like glass tables because once I get them where I need them to be, maybe a glass table is easily manipulated. Maybe they can be coerced. Maybe they're, I'm using all bad words. Maybe they can be, maybe their mindset can be changed to be the person that you need. Because sometimes you can make a certain person, you can make them who you want them to be, right? Because once somebody realizes, oh, this is what love feels like, this is what I'm supposed to be doing. Oh, you know what? You ever heard about people who say, I would give her anything in the world because of the way she makes me feel? Or you ever heard a woman say, I would submit to this man because of all the things he's done for me? That could also be a glass table depending on who you are, because you don't want to be their trigger, but you might be the person, you might be their savior, right? And you can groom them to be the person that you need them to be for you. And then if you don't want to be with them anymore because you want a different kind of table, then you can groom them to go out and find somebody else like you or, similar to you, just so they can get out into the world and date more. Okay. So that's the third table, the glass table. And I just came up with that last part off the top of my head, but I'm a bad mama jammer. So, I'm a bad mama jammer, right? All right. So the very last table. All right. Here's the very last table. It is a long-legged, wide steel table. Now, this steel table is as good as tables get, depending on what kind of table you're looking for. But this table is so wide that you are not expected to fill it up with anything. You're not expected to fill it up. This table is so big that there's room for what you have to put on it now, and even more room for what you can build up to bring later. Some of us are in a time in our life whenever we're trying to start a business. Maybe we just started like recently or something, right? Some of us are in our life where we just bought a house or we're trying to get a house. We're not where we want to be in life. But you know what they say, I might not be where I want to be, but thank God I'm not where I used to be, right? So whenever you find this steel table and it approaches you and it says, what can you bring to this steel, long-legged, wide table? It doesn't matter what you say you're going to bring. Because whenever you sit your stuff on the table, even if you can fit up just a corner of the table, if that's all you have to put on the table, this table is telling you it's okay because we're about to multiply that. Whatever that is that you want to do, we're going to get you some classes. We're going to get you some experts to talk to you. We're going to get you an LLC for your business. We're going to get everything funded. We're going to get you some coaches to help you understand what's going on. We're going to get you some financial advisors. We're going to get you together. What else you got to put on this table? Oh, you want a house? Okay, because I have a house. So, if that's what you need, we have a house now. Yeah. Oh, you want a boutique? Okay. Then what do you have for the boutique now? Oh, nothing but an idea. Okay. Well, let's turn that idea into a business plan and get you some financial services. Let's get us some sponsors so that you can have your boutique, and let's make sure we get the best vendors to fill this boutique up. That's what a steel table does. See, the person who is presenting you with a steel table is saying that they see more in you than you see in yourself. Whenever you say you want a boutique, this steel table is saying, yeah, but we're going to get you at least 5 of them things. Right? A steel table sees more in you than you see in yourself. Whenever you say that you want to buy a house and flip it, they get you an apartment building. So you don't have to flip nothing. You have 35 units in this apartment, but that's what I can do for you. I can help you grow. See, earlier we talked about the small plastic table that was small-minded, but see, the steel table is not saying you're small-minded. The steel table is saying you are limiting what you believe that you can do. I'm going to open your mind to bigger things because you're worth it, because you deserve it, and I can help you get it. See, a steel table is saying that I'm going to make room for everything that you have to offer. And I'm going to tell you something else. If you get to the point where this table is getting full, you ain't got to move nothing. I'm going to expand this table. I'm going to get some additions built onto this table because I have this table for you. All I want you to do is put what you have on it. And I don't even need what you have. I just know that you have a life of your own and you have things you want to do. And I'm here for that, right? The table has long legs. And the long legs on the table means that it will hold you up whenever you want to give up. It's going to hold you up. It also means that it's going to sit high, right? And the fact that it's sitting high means it is going to shelter you from everything that is meant to destroy you. This table is your security. This table is your shelter. Hide in me, right? Whenever you're out here and you got people trying to tear your name up and say negative things to you and try to tear down your business and tries to destroy your character, that's what I'm here for. That's what I'm here for. Let them keep on playing, because I got lawyers. We don't fight. We pay people to fight for us. That's what your steel table is saying. I got you. Whenever you want to cry, I got you. Whenever you want to change your idea of your business, I got you. Whenever you say you don't want to work anymore, I got you. Whenever you want to get a massage in a whole nother country, I got you. That's what the steel table is saying. The steel table is saying, I am going to stand up and I'm going to be sturdy. I'm going to stand up for you. I'm going to stand up for me. And if we have a family, I'm standing up for our family too, because that's what I'm here for. I am the security. Okay? The steel table gives you reassurance, right? Whenever it says hide in me, hide under my top, that means embrace me. Let me hold you. Let me kiss you on your forehead. That's what it's saying. It's reassuring you that everything you said you were going to do, you're going to do it. But let me also let you know it's not going to happen overnight, baby. We got steps to take, right? I know before you met me, you had a business plan, but you skipped so much stuff because you're new to this. See, I have businesses, and I'm not trying to tell you you're doing it wrong. I'm just telling you how to do it more correctly, right? So that you get the most benefits out of it, right? That's what it's saying. It's giving you reassurance. The top of that steel table is so strong that it can hold everything that you put on it, right? Remember earlier we talked about the plastic table with the weak legs. It crushes under pressure. Nah, you don't have that with the steel table. The steel table can handle anything. It can handle the baggage that you bring to it. So if you are a single mother with multiple kids, let's say 3, it's okay, because I have kids too. Or I don't have kids, but I'll be the perfect stepfather, right? This table is saying, oh, you have debt and you trying to get yourself, I got you. I have a credit repair person. We're going to get your credit right. We're going to get your debt taken care of, and we're still going to get your businesses going. Okay? That's what we're going to do. We're going to get these kids in private school because that's what you want to do. The steel table is saying, oh, you have a car, but it's always breaking down on you. That's cool, because, I'm not trying to say the steel table will always have more than you. Okay? That's just the idea, the image that I was saying. But let's just say you get a table that says, hey, you don't have a car, you're coming to this relationship without a car, it's perfectly fine. I got you. We can share my car until we can get you one. Or I have multiple cars, you pick which one you want, all the keys are on the wall, right? Some of us want somebody who can provide for us, who can protect us, who is there for us, right? That's what we want. So the steel table is saying that when you don't want to be strong and you need rest, it will allow you to get your rest and still hold you up without making you feel less than the queen that you really are. That's what it's saying. It's saying, I know sometimes we get tired, and I'm going to carry you. Whatever you need to do, whatever you need to make sure that you are stress free this week, whatever self-care you need, I got you. Right? That's what it's saying. Do you need me to put your phone on Do Not Disturb? Is that what you need me to do for you? Do you want to lay in the bed all week and have all your meals in the bed and sit out on the balcony at night? Is that what you need to do? I got you. It means I'm going to hold you up whenever you are sad because it seems like things are too good to be true. Right? Not when things don't seem like they can get better, but when things seem too good to be true and you need to take a moment and pinch yourself, I got you. That's what the steel table is saying. Now, the steel table is also saying, I will protect your peace by being your shield from negativity. So no matter who comes after you, whether it's your friends, your family, my family, your job, the media, because we're big by this time, right? I got you. That's what it's saying. Also, whenever you feel overwhelmed and unsure of your efforts, a steel table with long legs that don't wobble is a table that isn't going anywhere. It's stable. That means whenever we have an argument, I'm going to be over here on the couch. Whenever I know that you're feeling better, I'm going to come over there and talk to you. Right? It's stable. It's saying, I know that you were mad, but I'm not trying to be with nobody else. You can be mad at me for a lot of things, but one thing you're not going to be mad at me about is leaving this house. And you're not going to be mad about me going to somebody else's house. You're not going to be mad about me treating anybody better than you. And you're not going to be worried about me treating another house better than I treat ours, because I'm stable. My mind is set on keeping you in my life, keeping you happy, keeping you satisfied. That's what a stable table does. Right? A steel table also has sharp, pointy corners. Because this table is in your corner, because y'all are a team, y'all are a partnership, y'all are a couple, y'all are together. That means the table has these sharp, pointy corners because it's steel. And you know, steel is hard. So when you put steel with steel, it's pointy. The corners on the table are to slow you down. Whenever you get mad at somebody else, you try to bring that argument into the house, because that's what we do sometimes. You have to admit it. Sometimes as parents, we take our anger out on our kids, the first person we see. Sometimes we come home, we take our anger out on our spouses, on our boyfriends, our situationships, whatever. We take our anger out on that person. But see, the corners of a steel table is going to halt you in the most respectful way possible. Baby, you're not mad at me. If you want to talk to me, if you want to let your anger out and you want to holler and scream and yell, we can do that. But first, we're going to sit down, because I don't want you to talk to me like I'm the problem. But I will hear you out if you need me to listen to you. That's what it's saying. Okay? A steel table will get your attention just enough for you to realize, hey, we in this together. It's me and you against the world. Right? The steel table is here for you whenever you need to talk. And the steel table is strong enough to handle anything that you throw at it, but it's not going to be your punching bag. We don't even think about attacking a steel table, to be honest with you. You ever met somebody that made you say, you know what? You don't deserve the bad side of me. Like, I can't even see me being mad at you. That's what a steel table does. A steel table will make you shut up without telling you to shut up. Like, you already know, I'm about to get to the limit where I need to shut up. A steel table will have you in a situation where there is a conversation and you know this is a conversation for the steel table. A steel table will make you be submissive without even knowing it. A steel table will have you following their lead. A steel table will have you holding their hand and you walking in the direction that they tell you to walk in. Like, you can walk with them with your eyes closed because you trust this person. This person who is a steel table is also a leader. This steel table makes you not want to have a plan B, because together y'all plan A always works out. The steel table takes the initiative. The steel table doesn't have to be told what to do. The steel table knows its role. And the steel table makes you aware of yours without making you feel like somebody is telling you what to do. That's what a steel table does. And y'all know what else? A steel table can get anything it wants. We don't tell the steel table no. It deserves the world. And we give it to it. Right? That's what I want. I want a steel table. I want a steel table. Whenever it comes to the old weak wooden table, I've had that multiple times. Some of the times it was by choice. I chose that wooden table. I've had the small plastic table. And the problem with the small plastic table is there are a lot of adult men who are small plastic tables. And that's that on that. I'm 39 years old. Men my age and older are small plastic tables. We have the glass table. You meet some men who are small plastic glass tables. To be honest with you, I don't want no any of those. I've dealt with all of those. I want a steel table. And I want a steel table now. Like at the age of 39, on October 26th, 2021, I want a steel table. I want a steel table. And again, now these tables can be seasonal. You might want a steel table one moment, and then the next moment you want you a glass table because you want to help somebody. You want to make sure you're still a good person. You want to make sure you're still a good person. You never know. So before we tell anybody what we can bring to any table, we need to make sure that we know which kind of table we are entertaining. Okay? And who you are and what you're looking for may be different from somebody else, but there are all kinds of tables out there. I appreciate y'all for tuning into this episode. Y'all take care. Until next time, girlfriend, you've got this. Girlfriend, let me tell you. Girlfriend, let me tell you. Girlfriend, let me tell you. Oh my goodness, girlfriend.